In our last video, we looked at the workspace in Photoshop. In this video, we are going to explore some of the more basic tools. So in our last video, we opened a file named apples.jpg. Okay, so what we did was, I'm just going to close this. We went to File, Open, and we opened apples in the week 1 images. And this is how you open a picture or a file from an existing location. Okay. If you wanted to create a new file in Photoshop, a blank file, then you would go File, New. And when you do that, it asks you what size and what type of document you like to open. So let's take a look at some of these options. Over here we have the width. So right now it's set at 8.5 and the unit is in inches. You can change that if you like, and your options are pixels, inches, centimeters, millimeters, points, and picas. So I'll leave it at inches because that's what we're familiar with. So right now it's at 8.5 by 11 inches, and the orientation is portrait. It can also be landscape, in which case then it would be wider than it is high. So now the width would be 11 inches by 8.5 inches. So I'm going to change that back to portrait. Okay, so the reason why 8.5 by 11 inches showed up as default is because I have here picked a letter size. Okay, letter size is 8.5 by 11. Next we have the resolution, and the resolution is set at 300 pixels per inch, and we'll take a look at resolution and what pixels are in a different video later on. Okay, but right now this is where you can set the resolution, is when you create a new document. So the resolution has to do with the quality of your image. Okay, so the higher the resolution is per inch, more pixels per inch means the higher the quality of your image would be. Next we have the color mode. Okay, so for color mode you have bitmap, grayscale, which would just be black and white, RGB. RGB is typically for web, and CMYK, which is usually for print, and then we have lab color. So the two different modes you need to be aware of mostly is RGB and CMYK. RGB stands for red, green, and blue, and this is for web, because on the web the colors are made up of red, green, or blue. It's a combination of red, green, and blue. Next, CMYK is for print. CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And these are the colors that you find in your printer. They're the different colors of ink that you would find in a printer. So this is for print. So let's leave it at RGB. And next we have the background contents. So what color you would like your background to be. It could be white, black. You can choose a background color. It could be transparent, and so on. Okay. And we also have advanced options that we don't need to look at right now. Alright, so the next step is just to create. Now note before you click create that there are other different settings up here. The top here, I jumped over here for photo, print, art and illustration, for web, for mobile, film, and video. Okay, so just something you need to be aware of. We won't be using it right yet in this video. So let's go on to create, and now here we have a blank 8.5 inches by 11 inches high blank document. Alright, so this video is just on creating a new file, creating a new document. In the next video we'll look at how to place an image and how to resize images.